You are halfway into the sauce. The onions are down, the pan is hot, and the recipe says 1 cup of heavy cream. You open the refrigerator and there is no carton. The store is 4 miles away. A pint there is $4.60, and you will use 3 tablespoons of it tonight and pour the rest down the drain in 10 days, thick and sour, the way you have done before. So you stand there with the burner on, doing the math on the drive. Do not go. You already have it. 2/3 of a cup of milk, 5 tablespoons of butter, 2 minutes. You will not buy anything for this. No cream, no thickener, no powder, no packet, no gadget. A small saucepan, a measuring cup, and a blender. And if you have no blender, a jar with a tight lid will do it. And I will tell you why the dairy case is built, so that you never learn this. My name is Maya Sato. I am 58. I keep the household book, the kakebo, the way my mother kept hers. Every dollar written down, every week. So I know exactly what cream costs me in a year. It is nothing now. Here is the whole thing. The fat math, the low melt, the tempering spoon, which is the step everybody skips and everybody regrets. The blend that decides whether you get cream or a greasy puddle. The honest truth about whipping it. The can in the back of your cupboard. And how I keep what is left. Do this once, and that carton leaves your grocery list for good. Let me start with what most people get wrong, because if you do not understand this, nothing else will hold. Cream is not a separate thing from milk. Cream is milk with the fat left in. Store-heavy cream is about 36% butter fat. Whole milk is about 3%. Butter is about 80% butter fat. It is cream that has been beaten until the fat gave up and came together. So when you melt butter back into milk, you are not imitating cream. You are rebuilding it. Same 2 things, put back in the same proportion. That is the entire trick. And once you see it that way, you will never need a recipe card again. The first one, the ratio. 2/3 of a cup of whole milk to 5 level tablespoons of unsalted butter. That gives you a scant 1 cup, a little under, and I will be honest with you about that, because the source of this method got a little under as well. If you need 2 cups, use 1 1/3 cups of milk to 10 level tablespoons of butter. The ratio travels. Write the ratio down, not the recipe. The second one, the melt. 5 tablespoons of butter into a small saucepan. Heat on low-medium, and you are melting, not cooking. 2 to 3 minutes. You want it liquid gold and completely still. If it is hissing, if it is foaming up the sides, if it smells nutty, you have gone too far. That is browning, and browned butter is a wonderful thing, but it is not cream. Pull it off the heat the moment the last white lump goes, around 110 degrees, warm to a fingertip, not hot. Now the third one, and this is the one that separates a smooth cup from a broken one, the tempering spoon. Do not pour cold milk into hot butter. Take 1 tablespoon of the melted butter and pour it into the milk, slowly, a thread, stirring the whole time. Then a 2nd tablespoon, the same way. Milk protein seize when they meet heat all at once. You have seen it in coffee, that gray curdled ring on top. 2 tablespoons, slowly, and you have raised the milk gently enough that it will accept the rest. Now pour the warmed milk back into the pan with the remaining butter. 4th, the combine. Back on low for about 1 minute, stirring, just until it is uniform and steaming faintly. Do not let it boil, not a bubble. Boiling drives the fat back out, and you will watch it separate into a yellow slick over thin white milk, and there is no coming back from that. Off the heat. Let it sit 5 minutes to come down to about 100 degrees. Fifth, and this is where it becomes cream, the blend. Pour it into a blender jar and run it 30 to 45 seconds. What you are doing is smashing that melted fat into droplets, so small the milk cannot push them back out. That is an emulsion, and that is literally what cream is. No blender, a jar with a tight lid, and shake it hard for a full 60 seconds. It works. It is louder. Good looks like this: thick, ivory, coating the back of a spoon, leaving a clean line when you draw your finger through it. Bad looks like this: a thin white liquid with yellow freckles floating on top. If you get the freckles, you boiled it, or you skipped the tempering. Now, the honest part, because I would rather you hear it from me than find out over a pie. This cream cooks exactly like the carton, in gravy, in tomato soup, in mashed potatoes in a pan sauce, in scrambled eggs in a custard base, in your coffee. I use it in all of these, and no one at my table has ever known. What it will not do is stand up in stiff peaks on a dessert. Store cream whips because its fat sits in tiny natural globules that lock together when they are cold. Butter that has been melted and blended will thicken, and it will foam, but it will not hold a peak on a plate for an hour. Anyone who tells you otherwise has not left it sitting. But you can still have real whipped cream tonight, without cream. And this is the next one. My daughter did not believe me until she did it in her apartment in Tokyo. The can of evaporated milk in the back of your cupboard. 1 12-ounce can, unopened, into the coldest part of the refrigerator for at least 8 hours, or the freezer for 20 minutes until ice crystals just start at the edges. Put your bowl and your beaters in the freezer for 15 minutes too. This matters more than the milk. Pour it in, beat on high for 3 to 5 minutes until it triples and holds a soft peak. Then add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of sugar, and beat 1 minute more. The acid firms it. It holds for about 2 hours in the refrigerator. That is a bowl of whipped cream for about $1.10. Now about that carton. Cream is sold in a pint because a pint sells better, not because any recipe you own calls for a pint. The dairy case knows precisely what it is doing. It hands you 16 ounces for a recipe that needs 3 tablespoons, dates it 10 days out, and counts on the rest going down your sink. That is not carelessness. That is the size the business needs. A bin does not stop waste, and a bigger carton does not stop waste. It just moves the loss onto your side of the counter. 3 small ones quickly, because they come up every time. Salted butter is fine. Use it and take a 1/4 teaspoon of salt out of whatever you are cooking. 2% milk works, but thinner. Add 1 extra tablespoon of butter to the same 2/3 cup, and you are back. And for half and half, 1 cup of whole milk to 2 level tablespoons of melted butter. Same method. That is your coffee cream all week. Storage. Into a clean jar with a lid, into the refrigerator, and use it within 5 days, or by the date on the milk carton, whichever comes first. Never leave it on the counter more than 2 hours. It is milk, and it behaves like milk. It will set firm and look separated when cold. That is normal. Set the jar in warm tap water for 5 minutes and shake it, and it comes right back. Do not freeze this one. It breaks. Freeze real cream instead when you have leftovers. 2 tablespoons per cube in an ice tray, then into a bag. 3 months, straight into a hot pan. So let me say the whole thing once more, slowly, so you can write it down. 2/3 cup whole milk, 5 level tablespoons unsalted butter. Melt the butter on low-medium 2 to 3 minutes, never bubbling. Stir 1 tablespoon of the hot butter into the milk slowly, then a second. Pour the milk back into the pan. 1 minute on low, stirring, no boiling. Off the heat, 5 minutes. Blend 45 seconds or shake in a jar for 60. Makes a scant 1 cup. Refrigerate 5 days. So Thursday, when the recipe says cream and there is no carton, you do not put your shoes on. You open the butter dish and dinner keeps moving, and the $4.60 stays in the envelope every single time. Now tell me yours. Every kitchen has one substitution nobody taught you that you worked out on a night like that. Write it below and tell me where you're watching from. I read every one. Next time, 1 egg, 1 cup of cold water, and the thing about your stove you have been paying for without knowing it. Until then, waste nothing. Take care of your kitchen and it will feed you well. 2/3 milk, 5 tablespoons butter. Temper it, do not boil it. Blend 45 seconds. That is the whole thing in 1 sentence.